be the best, you need the best. Enter the Predator Helios 300, a gaming laptop that takes power to an all-new level. Equipped with a 7th gen Intel Core processor and AeroBlade 3D fan. I don't even know what a 3D fan is. Discover the VR-ready Predator Helios 300 today. Just got to go to Acer.com, click on store, and enter coupon code Crucible at checkout to receive 10% off plus free ground shipping on a Predator Helios 300 laptop, including already discounted models. Offers valid through April 30th, 2018, and limited to 1 per qualified order.
What?
What?
Well, that was cool. Did that happen when you stopped talking?
Do we have like a...
Yeah, that was... Let me try it again. 1 per qualified order.
Whoa,
there it is again.
It just magically... That's amazing.
Do we have anything else on this soundboard? Like,
Yeah, Andrew, was that you?
This is crazy.
Ah, okay. This is crazy. Hello, Andrew. Doesn't talk, but communicates via clips. Good to know you're there, bud. On to the show.
It's weird. We're back. We just do normal shows now. I know we did the normal
really
thing last
weird.
week. Yeah, it does feel weird. Well, this is it. This is the show.
Guys, I'm wearing a suit right now.
Why?
It's the classiest I've ever been in a podcast, because normally it's the opposite of a suit, which is stained sweatpants. No, I just came from a wedding. I'm actually about to go back to a wedding as soon as we finish up here.
it's dedication, everyone.
Yep. Or double booking and poor life planning skills.
Have you been drinking through our interview later just to keep it going so that you're still on the same level by the time you get back to the party?
You come back, you're not you gotta catch up.
Yeah, no, I'm doing okay. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Welcome to Crucible Radio, show for all things Destiny PvP, and this is the episode that we record and release the day before the balance patch that changes everything.
Yeah, let's go over what to use right now. Oh wait, for the last day.
You know what? This is no, this is our fault. We decided to do this Monday. We'd been playing Destiny for months before we decided to do this podcast. We knew that updates happened on Tuesday. We knew that that DLC and major game releases come out on Tuesday. That's industry standard. And we thought, you know what? No, let's record an episode 5 days in advance, roughly, a couple days, and then release it the day before a new update.
Before trials every single weekend.
Right. Never do it before you know the map. Record. Yeah, we set ourselves up for this 2 years ago.
But I guess we're stuck now.
But yeah, we're actually not going to chat too much this week because, well, like we just said. So what we did instead was we had a very awesome conversation with our new friend Ryth0m. And we just talked about Ryth0m, Ryth0m, whatever you would like to call him. We had a great conversation about D1, about D2. He's got a play style that definitely stands out. If you see a clip, oh shit, that's Ryth0m. And we had a really fun time. So we're going to let him have the stage for most of this episode so that you don't listen to us just guess about what if the jump was like this? And that's not important. And then next week, we'll go crazy talking about what we've learned.
Oh, yeah, we'll probably have some patch notes to tear apart.
Oh, baby.
Love a patch notes episode. All right, we're going to get to it. This chat with Ryth0m was great. I do just want to say one thing, and this is like...
Butts.
That's it. That's what I wanted to say. Butts. Oh, no, I thought of something else. This is the first balance patch of D2, right? Like the first time things are really changing, and this is a big, big change. And I just want to give the caveat, and this is solely just from having watched and talked about so many balance patches previously, that Tuesday is going to come, everyone's going to play this, and by Tuesday night, there's going to be a new meta. There's going to be some hot new gun that everyone's trying to grind for, like trying to dig out of their vault, hope they have one. There's going to be the new meta subclass and everyone saying, you got to learn your Arc Strider or whatever it is. There's going to be some new hotness and it's going to happen really, really quick. But I just wanted to say, like, that doesn't mean it's done. It takes a long time to figure out the meta, and the meta goes through a lot of phases. Like, remember when in the beginning of D2, everyone used Mida? Like, Mida was the thing and the only thing, and everyone had one. And then it stopped being the case. Like, Mida's still fine. People still using it. Listen to Ryth0m talk about it in a sec. But nothing really changed. It's just that the meta kept going. It took ages to figure out, like, oh, this Night Stalker is different than it was in D1, but like it's actually pretty good in PvP. Like Sentinel is actually pretty good. This one grenade launcher is like actually pretty good. Give this stuff time, and don't get beat down if like you're not the first to figure out the new hotness, because someone out there is going to come up with a play style that is hard to do. And it's not obvious, and they didn't call it out in the patch notes, and it's not where everyone's headed, but that might be what we're all playing a month or 2 months from now. So be patient, keep digging. Don't settle for the new hotness. I mean, I'm going to go get whatever the new good gun is, and I'm going to try it out, but keep looking because there's going to be a lot of stuff to find.
And I'll be the guy to say it. Don't be the fool who plays it and goes, this isn't D1, and then turns it off because it's still D2.
Yep. I have a feeling if you're listening to Crucible Radio, you're well aware of that.
You're a fool, maybe.
Run, you fools.
Welcome to the show for Hopeless Bobos who can't get their heads on right.
Hosted by Hopeless Bobos.
Well, with that, should we talk to Ryth0m?
Yeah, we should.
I forget how this goes. I mean, it's been so long.
Yeah, we haven't transitioned to something in ages.
Straight interview? Yeah.
Bird's mostly talking to himself.
It's pretty early on in the episode, and I'm so used to saying this, sort of midway point, but I think we can do a musical break right here.
Whoa!
What?
I'll meet you at the door to make sure you wipe your face.
Music this week from Widowvine. Not the first time we played him on the show, and not going to be the last. I like this. You can go check him out, facebook.com/Widowvine. And if you are a musician, a recording artist, a superstar producer, or you just like to mess around, you got some MP3s, send them over. I want to listen. I want to play them on the show. You guys make good stuff. Share it. Share it with all of us. crucibleradio@gmail.com.
Answers that cure it all, and hourly fees. Relax yourself, lay back and tell me of everything.
This is embarrassing. Is it just pronounced Ryth0m?
Yeah. I mean,
It's not
some people call it
Ryth0m,
Ryth0m, some people call it, whatever, Ryth0m, whatever, man. It's Ryth0m, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryth0m,
Well,
good.
my name's Ryan Thomas. Those are my first two names. So my grandma used to call me
Wow.
Ryth0m. And
That's
that's how I get the spelling. But, my music background, that's why I pronounce it Ryth0m.
Yeah, that just makes a whole lot of sense. Wow.
very nice.
Are we in the interview? Is that part of it?
That's part of it, yeah. So,
The
Ryth0m.
start of this
intro
interview
we
is just
ever
going,
had.
so this is embarrassing, but how do you say your name?
Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's been a couple weeks since we had a guest on, a real Desiny guestiny.
Woof.
Yeah, I know. I just spur the moment. They don't all land. But this week we got a treat. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's been playing Desiny since the beginning. Long overdue having him on the show. Ryth0m, welcome to the show.
What's up? How's it going?
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
So, we've not talked until very recently, but I have known your name going back to like the beginning of Desiny, like just seeing you in, like post game
That's
matchups.
how most people have known me. To be completely honest.
I mean, kind of walk me through it. I mean, like, how did you get started in gaming? How did you get started in the competitive side of gaming? And how did you make your way to Destiny?
Gaming. I've been gaming. My first memories were gaming. I've been gaming my whole life, man. So, I mean, I could talk about that all day. I don't even know where to begin, you know. But
well, I'm curious. What was the first game you remember playing? And I will guess silently in my head how old you are, roughly the same age I am.
Really, my first memory at my grandma's house. We got Duck Hunt on the Super Nintendo.
You an only child?
Nope. I have two brothers. One older. I'm living with my older brother, and then my younger brother.
You get the crappy controller?
The crappy controller. Of course, man, the middle child always gets screwed out of those things.
Yeah.
The Mad Catz
like
controller?
Weird Mad Catz one.
Mad Catz, yeah. Oh, I got the wired one. They get to chill in the nice chairs with the wireless ones.
Got paid dues. Okay, well, let's jump ahead a little bit. I mean, so you've always played video games. Have you always played shooters, or did you get into shooters? When did you get into shooters?
I've played it all, man. My first shooter was probably like James Bond on the GameCube, maybe. My first real first person shooter, or like Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 1 on, I think it's probably GameCube was when I got into shooters. Like I've been, like I said, I've been gaming my whole life, man. My first real competitive shooters that I wanted to take seriously was Halo 2 and Halo 3. I was only, 10 years old, 11 years old at the time. But, me and my IRL friends had like a game battles team in Halo 3, and me and my doubles partner took it really seriously, and we could never get two other people to like want to travel to tournaments and stuff, It was a struggle. So we never got to do any of that stuff. But we took it seriously and we tried, but that's when the competitive FPS started, I guess, for me.
So it's always been, I mean, in the shooter world, it's always been serious, right? Like if you're going to do it, you might as well try and be the best at it.
For sure. Oh, definitely. Always tried to be the best, or like tried to improve since I can remember.
Well, let's skip ahead a little bit. I mean, what brought you to Destiny?
The initial reveal trailer was just all over YouTube. Like the first announcement they ever made. I remember watching a YouTube video and I got so obsessed with it. After that, dude, I was like on YouTube 24/7 looking for any kind of like Destiny video I could find out any information about the game. That's when I found Dado and more console. Like Dado was literally, I remember him making a video saying that like this might be my last video unless we would start to blow up. Obviously that happened, So I've been crazy about Destiny since the beginning, man. Like I loved it. Just watching what the game was going to turn into was just so exciting for me.
Okay, so we had a lot of phases in Destiny 1. I feel like if we go back all the way, there is quite a few notable metas.
Oh yeah.
Which one would you say that you liked, or maybe a certain gun stands out, but was there like a phase of D1 where you're just this is my vibe?
I know a lot of people don't like it, man, but House of Wolves, 100%. Without a doubt. Last Word, Thorn, Fellwinters, snipers, firebolts, arc bolts. That sweat meta was so much fun. That sweat meta was so much fun and so competitive.
It's funny because a lot of people
hate it. Like the majority of the population,
including myself. Back when House of Wolves started, I was like, that's when I started to try and learn because like it was fun. Like at the core of it was fun. But, those people that were really good at it, you could just sit there and be like, oh my God, how?
Those things were very overpowered. And in public matches, if you're trying to use whatever gun, it wasn't fair. So I can totally understand why the community was like outraged by it. But if you were playing like top players and everybody was using those loadouts, it was balanced in its own like overpowered way. And it was so much fun.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember being a scrub about Thorn and being like,
were you a connoisseur of Blink? Was that part of the setup for you?
The first like 9 months of Destiny, I was a blade dancer. I loved Blink, but once I got into sweats, I switched to Sunsinger. Last Word, firebolts with her benevolence, the firebolt, and then the body shot Last Word. I loved it.
Just taking me back, man.
Yeah, man. Like just trying to outplay the shotgunners with that was so much fun.
Sure. Well, I mean, and there was a very different definition of what a sniper rifle was then. Like to, it's not like you were just staring down lanes.
No,
it was
you could play so
close
aggressive.
range quick scopes. It was no scopes. It was using it as a shotgun at point blank range.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was everything. It was half your gameplay.
For sure. You can make so many plays with a sniper back then. It was incredible.
So what was your favorite sniper?
My favorite sniper ever was my Her Benevolence. 100%. I remember like Hidden Hand, Quick Draw, Short Gaze, and then Grenadier, I think. I loved that thing. I loved it. Yeah. And man, it's taking me back. It's taking me back.
I'm getting all nostalgic.
And like the thing about it was it was a completely new game, And like nobody was known to be good at that kind of game. So everybody was trying to prove themselves like so hard on Twitch. Like everybody wanted to be the best because they knew that if they could be the best and if the game kept going the way it was, they would be the ones that blew up. So everybody was trying so hard back then. And it was quite the time to be, in that scene and on Twitch. I wasn't one of the best, I was good. I wanted to be one of the best so bad. And I tried every day. I sweated like 6 hours, 8 hours every day is all I thought about. Because I wanted to compete with people like War, Gabe, Pashi, some other names that people don't remember back then. But
well, I mean, tell me how that started, right? Like, I think, by the end of D1, those names were pretty familiar.
Mm-hmm.
There'd been some very kind of like very public facing tournaments. But the sweat scene, I mean, that picked up in like, like back in like that first December, like there were people getting together. They were starting to do the matchmaking. How did you get into you knew you wanted to hit Desiny, but how did you get into
Fizzer,
that?
Right? He was on Crucible Radio a few times. Yeah,
of course.
He was my best friend back then. And he like War and Pashi would always come into his chat trying to get him to play like sweats. Because that's when they just started that. They were like they matched 66 sweats. Like anything goes. So there was like 6 play dancers or sun singers, and heavy ammo was allowed. So it was truth rockets. That was the first time I ever played sweats. Was 66 with those guys, and it was just truth everywhere. And we didn't like it. Me and Fizzer did not like it. To be completely honest, we played it once. It was just a little too much. Just heavy ammo, and we didn't play anymore after that until like a couple months later. They switched to 3v3. Same thing. You still had heavy ammo. We didn't like it, so we stopped playing again. And then there was like a tournament, and there was no heavy, and like playing in that really like I wanted to be really good at that because watching those players do really well with just the primary and the special weapons, I wanted to be that good, and I grinded. And Fizzer he didn't feel the same way about sweats. He kind of dipped out of it. That's when we kind of went our own way. I went into the sweat scene. He went into, pursuing his stream. And yeah, man.
Well, and I think, most people don't quite realize, because like for a lot of Destiny players, like the pinnacle of gameplay is trials, right? Of PvP.
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when you sweat, when you hop into a private match, you're playing against people that everyone's really showing up, and especially when you're playing like a skirmish type game mode, 3v3, and the pressure is so high, it's just like a different game. It is so the play style is different, the pace is different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was that learning curve like? Kind of getting dropped into the deep end of wanting to take it serious.
I could pick up some of my buddies and play against like teams of viewers, and we do really well. And, we'd get a little bit of an ego from that. And then we'd hop into Ward's stream, try to match him. And like, he would have his two of his clanmates in there, or like, Gabe, anybody. And they were so good, man. The skill gap was so high back then. It was insane. Watching, like, I would just get destroyed. I'd literally get destroyed by them. And just having people out there that could do that, and just, I wouldn't even stand a chance against them, made me want to get better so bad. And like Trials wasn't like that.
Sure. Well, can you put your finger on it? Like they won, but were they just like, did they have better aim? Did they play as a team better? Like what was it that they were doing?
I think it came down to the angles, man. When you'd turn a corner and you like peek for a little bit, and you're like, where's this guy? And you just die. Like War would be in there with the sniper, ready to go, waiting for you to peek that angle, and you just drop. And it's like, how did he know I was going to be there? Like, that is such a crazy angle that I thought I was smart peeking this, but but he thinks I'm dumb for beating that. Like that,
so were
that
you
kind of situation.
taking that away and like working on that specifically when you were playing, less intense teams?
Yeah, for sure. I think angles has always been something I've been trying to work on. Learning the angles, man. Angles. It's all about the angles.
Going back to Fizz for a second, did you take anything away from his play style that's influenced you?
Oh, me and Fizz used to play really, really strategically and just try to find out where the strongest parts in the map were. We spent a lot of time, even off stream, just thinking about, where the strong points are. Because he was a Halo player, and that's kind of what Halo is playing the strongest points on the map, you know what I mean? And learning those and just locking them down. So we did a lot of that. And that's always been a big part of my play style too, for sure.
So that's interesting. I mean, that's a little bit different than sort of what the sort of the sweat, like the common approach of just like rotate,
yep,
right?
Yep,
like,
collapse as fast as you can.
Yep,
for
split
sure.
the spawns and just keep
we
on
did
moving.
a very different approach for sure.
I mean, so, the first time we talked to Fizz, it was a bit of a shock to the system where it was just like, like let the game have the pace it's going to pace, but get the high ground, get the spot that you want to be in. And then you can't be touched. Like they're not going to break that setup if you're doing it right. And I've seen that work well. I mean, like over the course of D1, I mean, were you going back and forth between those? Did you find a way to combine them, or I mean, what made sense?
Definitely found a way to combine them for sure. I just kind of blended all these different play styles and tried to make my own. Like seeing some of those teams collapse so fast really made me want to play as fast as I could. I will say that for sure. But I've always been big on, if we're in a bad situation, regroup and play the strongest position we can to get an advantage on the other team. If that makes sense.
It does. I kind of want to fast forward to D2, but we shouldn't get past D1 too
we're still
quick.
in year one here.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of living in the nostalgia of it right now.
Let's stay there. So, I mean, once the, when the sweat scene started, it was like a scene, right? Like people knew people. Mm-hmm. It was hard to break into if you didn't know anybody or if you couldn't hang.
Yep.
But by the end of D1, like private matches came out. There was a lot of open registration, kind of high profile tournaments. What was D1 for you in sort of the second half of D1? I mean, were you still competing? Were you still playing it the same way?
So when Taken King came out, a lot of my friends quit. A lot of my Xbox friends quit. So I started I played PvE. I was playing with Ryth0m. We were speedrunning at the beginning of year 2. I was doing like sweaty PvE stuff for like 3 or 4 months. And then I got back into sweats in year 2. Oh boy. It's been a journey, man. I've played a lot of Desiny. I can talk about it all day. I'd say I've definitely always been a sweaty player though. And then like I've played in every tournament I could in D1. And I really hope that D2, once private matches come out, it gets to that point again where people are playing tournaments and just trying as hard as they can. I would love to see it get to that point again. So I'm going to go as hard as I can,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about D2 then. I mean, D2 at the beginning is certainly not what D1 was at the end, right? Mm-hmm. So, we
for sure
lost private matches. A lot of stuff started over. We'll take that for granted right now. I mean, but sort of ramping up in D2, what feels different, right? Like, obviously the D2 sandbox plays a little different. Who knows what's going to happen when this Go Faster update comes? We'll talk about that. But I mean, just like loading into the Destiny 2 Crucible, what are you thinking? Are you still playing the same way?
Am I still playing the same way? You have to definitely play a little more team-based. I'm always making sure I'm with somebody. You know what I mean? Like you could go on your own in D1, but let's see. It's all about trials now, to be honest. Now, like if you're on Twitch, like the big community on Twitch is really just the trial scene. And I kind of dove into that in Destiny 2. I was never in the trials community in Destiny 1. And now I'm part of that, which is pretty cool because that's almost like the sweaty scene. That's how people in the trials community in D2, at least on console, they feel like they're the best players on console. And the people that are trying to play sweats, it's just that community is so small that it gets overlooked, you know. And I'm friends with those guys too, but
sure. Well, I mean, it's like Trials is in a place right now, right? Like the Trials population, like there's not a lot of people who are like, you know, just loading in for fun playing Trials. Like it's not quite the same trying to go flawless as it was at the beginning of D2.
So with the more teamwork in D2, and you kind of expressed how you and Fizz worked on teamwork a lot.
That definitely has helped me a ton in Destiny 2, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this something that you can, like, I don't want to say it's like helping you stick around, but it's helping you enjoy it a little bit more, is because you have
definitely. I have fun playing that. I like Destiny 2. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have fun playing Destiny 2. I've got a lot of friends that I have a great time playing Destiny 2 with. It's weird that's an unpopular opinion. like I feel like I love my Stormcaller, I love my Mida, I love my Mida mini tool, and that's all I use because I like it. And it's hard to find something that you like in Destiny 2, so I just stick with that.
Yeah, I was watching you play on stream the other day, and like that Mida combo is not one that you don't see it very often. Ton of. Yeah. I mean, it had a bit of a heyday when just like Mida was the thing all around. But I mean, that mini tool in particular, like I can't remember the last time I got killed by one of those. What do you like about it?
The speed. Stormcaller, I've been saying that it's the least mobile subclass in the game right now. Like a lot of subclasses have some kind of mobility option, especially like Voidwalker has Blink, and you know, Dawnblade has those mobility options for the Icarus dodge or the one that regens your health, anything that can make you move quicker. And Storm just has nothing, and you're on a Warlock, which is already really slow. So if I have the double Mida setup, I'm moving fast, and I can't play the game as slow paced as it is without those guns, especially on a Storm. I can't. Like, I feel clunky. I always say that if I take them off, I feel clunky, and I hate feeling clunky, so I leave them on. I like moving fast.
I mean, let's talk about SMGs in general, right? Like it's a new addition, D2. Has it? I mean, and I think in a lot of ways it's become sort of the accepted sort of in-air play style that, you know, maybe hand cannons were or whatever in D1.
I can feel it.
How do you use it in SMG? Like, I watch you just like swapping between your Midas constantly, but like, when do you use each one? Like, what's the back and forth between them?
When do I use each one? I like to put a little damage out with my Mida if I can. When I'm, you have to team shot in Destiny 2, so I'll team shot with my Mida. And if I'm going to clean somebody up, or if I'm pushing, I'll push with my mini tool. I always like to get the height advantage by just jumping in the air. The ideal situation for me is I'm directly above them, looking straight down, and they have no idea where I am. And I just, while I'm falling down, I'll aim straight down. I'll just shoot the mini tool and then melee them. I love it. It's kind of like a shoddy in D1. Obviously, it doesn't kill as quick, but I bait with it, like I did with a shoddy.
No, it's interesting. I can see that. I mean, and I think that same kind of just getting directly above people, sort of aerial play style, I think.
There's not many guns you can do that with in D2. I think that's why I like it so much. It feels like I'm playing D1 a little bit. It's more aerial. Yeah. Yeah, because the meta in Destiny 2 is just sitting on the ground, crouching with you know what I mean? Just holding the right trigger and staying in one position. And I don't feel like I have to do that with my setup. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think that's kind of what helped me find a good play style and find a way to, you know, actually do something and change a game, is realizing like getting off the ground and getting out of those like landlocked angles and positions gives you an advantage over a lot of players who are really prone to just sit in those same lanes, stay in the same spots, or just overall not think that they can do a lot from the air.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you get something like an SMGs and hand cannons and even the Mida tool as a scout, like you can still hit fire and tap away, and just doing damage from the air gives such an advantage in this game. And people, I think, almost unnecessarily think you got to be on the ground with a high impact auto rifle to do anything.
All my friends that I play, they do a lot of aerial movement. Like a lot of them use, I mean, even with Antiope, I know that everyone uses the Antiope, but like the best players are the ones that are jumping around with it, and you can't even see it. It's hard to aim at them. You know what I mean? And aerial movement is what everyone's always loved about Destiny. That's what makes Destiny is just jumping around and shooting people. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down
put
to.
that on the box.
If you're not jumping around shooting people in Destiny, you're not having a good time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I've definitely started working, especially when I'm playing on my Warlock, like using my jump as a defensive kind of buy time move where it's like, like I'm at a doorway, I'm a little bit too close to it, they're about to push around, I'm low health. Like all I have to do is just stay off the ground right now. They're going to be tossing grenades in here, they're going to be pushing in. I want to make sure if they have to come through that door, they're going to have to look straight up in order to get me. Buy me a little bit of time.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I do that all the time, man. If I'm weak and if I have anywhere, I can just glide up, and then I glide up and then I'll move left or right. So if a good player does happen to come through that door and is already jumping, looking for me in the air, it's still hard for them to find me. You know what I mean?
So we definitely want to talk about this coming update, and I can tell based on everything we've said so far that the movement is going to be huge. Yeah. But before we get there, I did have a question about trials now that you play a lot of trials. And I know you played mostly sweats in D1, but what is your opinion on trials having kind of more objective modes? And survival is just kind of Slayer when it gets down to it. But what about Countdown? Do you play trials differently? Or do you approach it differently if you're doing a carry when there's an objective?
When there's an objective? Dude, I love trials in Destiny too. I have way more fun in trials than I do in like quick play or anything. It's kind of mindless running around killing people. But trials, there's a lot of strategy to it. And I used to do doubles. Me and Joey did a ton of doubles for the first like few months of Destiny 2. And the way we did it is just like I'd take one side, he'd take the other side. And our raffle winners would stick with us, and we'd pretty much 2v4 with as much help that our raffle winners could give us. You know what I mean? We just hope that they would help us a little bit in team shot, and we learned a lot doing that. Like we learned a lot about countdown and survival, having to do that. I really like the game types for sure. They're fun.
Yeah, I think we did. I think Swain was there. We played maybe Birds. Maybe you played Trials too that time. But we did a Trials run with Joey, and we were playing on Countdown. And
how much fun did you have, dude?
So clear. Oh, it was a blast. I love playing with Joey. But it was just like those first call outs of just like, no, we're going 2 and 2. Let's go right here, and we'd go same time, like sprint to that spot, stand there. Someone inevitably coming around a corner, click, click, click. 2 shots from each of us and down, and it was just like just knowing like, do this first, and then the rest of the round can be coasting because you've already gone, you've got a kill on the other team and you're an advantage.
Oh, opening. Yeah. Especially like survival, that opening play is so big in survival, man. And then our first pick in Countdown for sure. You have to focus on that, and playing the objective in Countdown. Playing the objective is huge. What we notice is that a lot of the less skilled players will, like what me and Joey do, or what me and my Sherpa partners will do, we ignore if someone leaves a bomb open when we're pushing it, we'll just ignore the people behind us and push forward to get that bomb down. We'll just completely ignore them, you know what I mean? And a lot of people will get baited by them, like, oh, there's people that are shooting me, I have to shoot at them. And it's like, no, just follow us, we're gonna plant the bomb and we'll bait them in. And yeah, I like the objective. I love it.
Yeah, it can really take a lot of focus off of the mindless fighting and stuff, or sometimes you accidentally forget that there's a thing you have to do at a certain time and go defuse it.
So, I mean, like a lot of this stuff's going to be map dependent, but I mean, just talking about like the importance of like those first 10, 15 seconds of the round. I mean, you're trying to get that pick, but can you be more specific? Like, if I'm playing trials, what should I be doing? Like, start of the round, or conversely, like what mistakes do you see a lot of players make right at that very beginning?
Let's see. I mean, dying. To be totally honest, you can't die. You have to stay alive. And if you're weak or like if you're getting shot, you need to tell your teammates. But you should be with your teammates so that they know. You know what I mean? Like, always make sure you're with somebody. And if you're getting shot at, they'll help you. So, just don't die. I don't know. That's all I really think about at the beginning of the round. I mean, I can't die right now. I have to stay alive. I'll do whatever it takes to stay alive. If I don't do any damage, that's totally fine as long as I stay alive.
Yeah. Sometimes that you just sometimes like someone steps out just kind of thinking they had a free lane to run through and they die, and that early death. Not like everyone has to die first, right? There's always going to be someone that dies first.
But if I die first,
right,
or as soon as you die, you have to call out exactly what you see, what happened, where they are, who's weak, how your team can get your trades. So then it's 3-3 instead of 4-3.
Yeah, and if you can just survive a little bit further into the round and have that first death come a little bit later, you have more time to decide what the other team is doing, what the strategy is going to be. But if that first death can come in the first 10 seconds, it's like all hell breaks loose and your team just panics because
and if your team
plan
panics,
is gone.
Then the other team will take advantage of that and wipe you, and then you're in a bad spot because then they get power.
Yeah,
that happens a lot. Happens to me all the time.
All right. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors real quick. Ryth0m, hold on.
This week, bringing Crucible Radio to you. Well, it's our favorite mattress company. It's Casper. Casper is a sleep brand that continues to revolutionize its line of products to create an exceptionally comfortable sleep experience one night at a time.
With 3 mattress models, the original Casper, the Wave, and the Essential, Casper mattresses are perfectly designed to soothe and cradle your natural geometry. I got real curvy geometry.
But that's okay. They've got a breathable design. It helps you sleep cool and regulate your body temperature throughout the night. I'm reading this and I'm thinking, like, I sleep on a Casper mattress. I can't remember the last time I thought my mattress was too hot because it's just
definitely had people be like, is it too hot? I'm like, you get hot when you sleep? What?
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. And it's delivered right to your door in a small, how do they do that size box? Free shipping and returns in the US and Canada.
But the best part is that you can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free sleep on it trial.
Come on, after all, you spend a third of your life sleeping, so you should be comfortable. I wish I spent a third of my life sleeping these days, but I sure am comfortable and nice and cool. So cool. I even think about it. It's just natural.
So here's what you do. You get $50 toward select mattresses by visiting casper.com/crucible and using Crucible at checkout. That's casper.com/crucible. Offer code CRUCIBLE for $50 off your mattress purchase. Terms and conditions apply.
Bones, there is no one else in the world I'd rather have spell the word crucible at me. Got it down. You figured it out.
I do.
All right, back to the interview. Well, so I've got a specific question to ask, but before we do that, I mean, tell me we know about the Midas, but what's your trials loadout? I mean, you're using Stormcaller,
Yep, Stormcaller, Top Tree Storm.
What? Okay, and what grenade do you use? Using arc bolts?
I've been using arc bolts. Yeah, I've been using arc bolts for sure.
So tell me a little bit, especially like in the context of trials, how are you using your arc bolt? I mean, I feel like so many grenades get wasted at the beginning of the round because
I save my grenades.
Everyone's kind of expecting. Okay, so yeah, so what are you waiting? What's the moment you're waiting for to use that grenade?
If I see 2 or 3 people or 4 sitting on top of each other, because I have arc web with Top Tree. So here's the thing, man. If I have an arc bolt and I can arc web 2 people, it will tag them both for 120, and then my melee will chain both of them. So I can kill 2 people with both those 2 abilities, and that's it. Arc bolt melee will kill 2 people just because of arc web, and that's fast. That's D1 speed gameplay. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'll save it if somebody's weak enough for the arc bolt to get a kill, or if I can get the 120 damage on them. Otherwise, I'm not using it. I'm not going to open up on one person with an arc bolt. It's pointless.
And then here's one that I struggle with on my Warlock. When are you using your Rift? I mean, is this like quick, got to get my health back, pop it? Are you trying to pop it in a place where like defensively your team's going to set up and hold on to it?
When it's like, oh my God, there's a chance I'm going to die right now. I'll save it for that. Every time. Like, because like I was saying before, you can't die. So like whenever there's a situation like, oh my God, there's the slightest chance that I'm going to die right now. And that's when I save my Rift for. I'll save it for that oh crap moment. And I won't use it other than that.
I got one last question before we start to talk about what's coming next.
All right.
So I remember talking to Fizz, and in D1,
Yeah.
Fizz has got his spot on every single map.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
knows exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Are you thinking the same way in D2? Like, if I just pick a map at random for
sure.
D2, and like, let's just say
Yeah,
we're playing Clash,
I'd probably get a spot in most of the maps. Yeah.
Oh, let's play
When
this
I'm
game.
when I'm posting up.
Let's play this game.
Oh,
Okay. So I got one in particular. And let's say it's Clash or like Supremacy or something without like a fixed objective. Where do you want to be on Javelin?
on Javelin. Okay. Javelin is a really small map. I really like to push spawns in that map, to be totally honest. But if I don't know where they're spawning, the best place I could be, man, that's it'd probably be somewhere around near top middle. It'd have to be top middle. You just have to be aware. There's so many angles that can take you down from there, or outside. Maybe.
Yeah,
that's a weird map. That's probably the one map that's a fast paced map. You know, like that's a collapse map.
Yeah.
That's a collapse map for sure. Because there's two spawns, and then if your team happens to be in both spawns, they'll spawn B. So it's like when you run from one side of the map, wipe them, run back as fast. That feels like D1. That feels like D1.
Back and forth.
I love that.
Yep.
Right.
But I'll probably sit top middle or by power outside that little lane. Both those spots are by power. That little platform up top. There's actually a glitch where you can, if you're sitting on that platform top middle, there's a little crack in the wall where you're looking at power outside. You can shoot through that, but the enemies that you're shooting at are invisible. It's the weirdest thing. I've killed people through that. I love that spot because, like, if you're down in lives or something and you know they're outside of power, I can just sit there with my Mida and shoot an entire clip and put some damage out, and they can't hit me and I can't see them, but I'll get some damage out.
Okay, good.
It's cheesy, but it's in the game.
Hey, yeah.
Not a lot of people know about that. Me and Joey know about that one though.
Okay, let me ask you about another one because this is my worst map by a mile. What am I supposed to be doing on Legion's Gulch?
Legion's Gulch? I don't even know what map that is.
I know. No one knows the name to any of these maps. That's the one where it's got like B. It's got like the big spinny mining thing, and then there's like apartment and the
bridge.
Yeah, the bridge. Yeah, like the big.
It's got the big bridge in the main
one with the
cannon.
cannons, man. All right.
Yeah.
That's a quick play map. Let's see. What's your question about the map?
Oh, well, la-di-da. It's a quick play map. What am I doing wrong on it? Like, I lose.
You're not doing anything wrong on it. It's a horrible map.
Oh, thank God.
I hate that map, man.
Yeah.
That's really the answer is that I'm fine and really
You're
it's just the
doing
map.
great,
Is
dude.
What
Don't
Burns
worry-
wants to
don't
know
worry
is
what
that
you're
it's not
doing.
his
Yeah,
fault.
Not your fault.
Yeah.
Man, it's not your fault.
If you're on that map, just forget about the game and whoever you're in the party chat with, just talk about something else and have a good time.
Okay. Deal. All right, let me do one more because I like this. But except I want to pick one that's not obvious.
I can think of Shores of Time, dude. You know the new
Sure.
Shores of Time map? I call it Corner Cave. There's a lot of people have different names for it. It's like, you know where the cave is? And
Sure.
there's that little tunnel that leads to the corner.
Yeah.
That spot is so strong. Like, especially in Trials because power's over there. I have spent almost entire game sitting back there. Because the angles, man, you got an angle on cave, you got an angle on shrine, you got an angle on, dark tunnel. And then you can, there's, I know the way to like move around the back wall where you can sit on top of these rocks and you have a dirty angle on the river door where the river comes in. You got angles everywhere sitting back there. I always make sure someone's posted up back there for playing Trials on that map. Like that spot is so, that's this map. When you talked about it at the beginning, that's the map I thought of. Like that spot is so strong, it's insane. Especially if it was sniper, that's a really good sniping spot. Like I said, I've spent a lot of time in Trials in that game, just sitting back there, just putting shots out.
Huh. I feel like when Fizzer was telling me spots on maps the last time we talked to him, I just spent a lot of time going, huh? And I feel
Man, I would love to bring you in there and show you all the angles that you can get just from sitting in that one spot. It's actually insane. How many kills, and like people don't even know that you have an angle a lot of time because they've never been killed from that spot, and it's like they're not looking at you, and you can just lay so much damage in on them before they even realize what's going on.
Well, as soon as you said that, I thought to myself, man, I can't wait for private matches.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
just play that
sure.
game. Let's talk about it. Let's go there. So you are the lucky boy who gets to record an interview that comes out literally the day before these changes drop.
Yeah, it's classic.
So people are going to be listening to this, and they're gonna be playing this new meta. We don't know what it plays like yet, but I guess going into it, like there's a lot of changes here, and it's just like new sandbox, right? New stuff to figure out. As soon as that update drops, what are you thinking? What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? I want to see how fast I can go with my mini tool setup right now because it's already really fast. I want to see how much faster I can go. I'm really excited to see. I want to push my Warlock as fast as possible. You know what I mean? And if there's some other gun that's like super meta, I'll have to switch. But if I can, I'll stick to my setup just because I know how much faster I'm going to be going. I love going fast. Speed is like, and just
it's always been my detriment.
It's always been something that I've tried to be perfect at, is movement. Speed and movement.
Okay, so I feel like you and I also have the same curiosities because I actually switched off of Warlock about a month ago. I just felt like I just felt slow, honestly. And it wasn't that feeling. The game as a whole is slow. It's just that Warlock's like, that old surf, being able to push forward with your jump and have that habit, even if you're not getting amazing kills, just that habit of while you flank and traverse. It felt gross. So I switched to Titan just so I could keep that movement horizontally in the air. So I think you and I are really curious about the jumps. What do you think you want to see from the 3 Warlock jumps? Even if you don't name all 3, what are you kind of hoping to get if there is some variety out of the 3 potential jumps? What do you hope to get from Warlocks?
I've only thought about how fast the burst glide is going to go. To be totally honest, how much of a boost?
Right?
How much of a boost?
How fast can I
is
surf?
It going to feel like Destiny 1? Yeah, I just want to surf. To be totally honest, the other 2 options, I feel like the best players, like if you're moving perfectly, you're going to want to use the fast one because just the skill gap with that's going to be a lot higher. But I don't even know what the other 2 options are. I think there's like a strafe one that lets you like move while you're in the air, like left and right. I just don't see too much of a purpose for that in PvP at a high level, maybe. But I mean, I'm really looking forward to just seeing how fast the burst glide goes.
So
yeah, currently we have something called balanced glide, focused burst, and controlled glide. And I think definitely PvP focused players go right to focused burst, whatever that means. That
I don't
burst
even know what
word
it
is
does
like
right now, to be honest. I don't think it does anything different. Yeah, unless honestly, the other 2 ones might slow you down, and the burst glide just keeps you at the same speed.
Right.
So I mean, I think that's it, right? Like for you as a PvP player, your jump is like, it's a tool for movement. It's a tool for getting around the map to like get an angle, to get a flank off, whatever.
Exactly.
But you're not going to be fighting while in the air unless it's like specifically straight down on someone with a sidearm or something.
Yeah. In Destiny 1, I tried so hard, and I think I was pretty successful at being like the fastest Warlock and mastering that movement. Like I coined it as surfing and got everybody calling it surfing, and like I tried so hard to just be extremely fast and learning all these little spots I can jump on to just move kind of like Titan skating, and then being able to challenge people in the air, and they'll just imagining what they were looking at when I was shooting them, just moving so fast as a Warlock. Like, what is happening right now? Just laying in headshots on my palindrome. I want that feeling in Destiny 2 so bad. Just being able to jump around and shoot people.
So would you say it's just the movement restriction for you, or is there anything else that you're desiring?
The biggest thing is definitely the movement. I really would like the kill time to be quicker, but they took it a different approach. They are taking away radar, you know? So I'm curious to see how that plays. I think without a radar, it's better to have a slow time to kill. So you can actually have time to react, figure out what's going on. If the kill time is too fast without a radar, it can be frustrating. We saw that in Destiny 1. Like Spooky Trials. Too many one-hit kill opportunities when you don't have a radar is frustrating. So I think it'll play better in Destiny 2. And
you'll be able to get away quicker too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really curious. It's gonna play so much different. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I'm excited and nervous at the same time.
I mean, like, take a guess. Like, going into trials that first weekend. I mean, how do you prepare for something like that? Just no more radar, knowing that your opponents don't have radar either.
How am I going to prepare for that? I'm going to play. I'm going to play a lot and learn where I can move quickly to get. I mean, angles are going to be huge without a radar. You're going to be wanting to looking at where the spots people are most likely to come out of as fast as possible. You know what I mean? So if I can learn the spots where I can get there as fast as possible, like almost speed run it at the beginning of every round, and just get there and find out who's there. And then if they're not there, get to the next angle, see if they're there, and so on, call out. So I really want to be able to just move as fast as possible. I've been saying that a lot, but that's always what it's been for me. I want to perfect my movement. Because if your movement's perfect, it makes it really hard for other people to hit you or even stand a chance. All the best players that I've ever played against in Destiny 1, the thing that stuck out was their movement was flawless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like that's I think the biggest name comp players. Like I can pin it to, like, I mean, Gabe is Gabe, right?
Gabe is Gabe.
But
yeah.
like I remember like Fizz's setup was always Mida and just like max agility hunter. And then just like, I mean, every tool that you could possibly use, whether that's Titan skating, whether that's surfing,
Twilight Garrison.
Yep.
Shade Stat. Blink.
Good old Year 1 Blink. I miss Year 1 Blink. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Have you watched gameplay of Year 1 Blink recently? It's crazy. Go back and watch like one video and just be like, wow, that's how the game used to play. It's insane how fast it was.
I occasionally watch Team Inclement's montage from Year 1 that edited by Neemkin. So it's like this beautiful thing. And it's like their team Taj, and it's like a lot of trials clips and stuff. But it's like all these plays on Cauldron with Blade Dancers going nuts and stuff. I'm like, that was absurd.
Worn out pen in there.
So the other big change we got coming up is the change to power ammo. So there's just like,
there's gonna be more power.
There's a lot more on the board, a lot more, like the timer significantly faster, but also players die and drop a brick, and now that's a brick to go pick up. I mean,
I think power is going to make having no radar a lot more comfortable, because that'll be the place where people are going to be fighting. You won't have to be running around the map looking for people. You're going to know where they are.
You'll be like stuck in a corner.
If they're not at power, I mean, you get power and you'll be fine.
Yep. Well, and I wondered too, like, there was situations in D1 where it would be like, I guess it was more with revives, but like someone would die in a spot and their ghost would be up. And then like that almost becomes an objective mode in a sense, because it's like people are going for the revive. You're playing around that ghost now. And I wonder if we're not going to get some of that with power ammo now, where it's like somebody picks it up, dies right away, drops the brick, but everyone's looking at it now. And now it's just like, who's going to be the guy who's going to be dumb enough to run out there, try and stand on it and press square?
You're definitely going to be baiting power drops like that a lot. You're going to need to bait. I think the least skilled players are going to be the ones that see the purple power on the ground, they sprint right to it. And the better players are going to be the ones sitting back watching it. Like, who's going to go for it? And then they're just going to get more kills that way, for sure.
So knowing that they're going to sort of rebalance the ammo a little bit, what's your power ammo setup?
Right now, I've switched a lot throughout D2. I used to snipe a ton, like Long Walk, Borealis. Those are my two favorites. Lately, I've been using Main Ingredient. I love it. I love Main Ingredient.
Oh yeah,
it's really fun. I think after the update, I'm going to be using a shotgun, because if I'm moving quicker, I'll be able to close the gap with a shotgun and get more kills. Right now, it's really tough to close the gap with a shotty. I struggle. Yeah. I want to play with a shotgun, but it's too hard. So I'm really looking forward to being able to play with a shotgun again, for sure.
It's funny that back at D1 it was like, shotguns. And what could have solved that somewhat would have been SMGs.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We could have just had subs.
Yeah.
I mean, the last word kind of almost was that in a sense.
It was.
Right?
It was the first SMG.
I mean, Last was going up against Fellwinters with shot package and rangefinder and like all those crazy perks. Insane shotgun, and you had a primary that was outgunning it. That's insane. We haven't.
Yeah.
It's never been like that ever since. That was key. Having something that could outplay the one hit kill weapons.
Sure, one to do it by
crazy.
yourself too. Like you are getting closed on, you're backpedaling, and you can handle that shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. Now, right now, it's tough. That's tough, man. If like you got an Acreus chasing you, it's tough. You need an arc. Like I would need an arc bolt, and I'd need to hit all my headshots with my mini tool, and I need to have perfect movement to have even the slightest chance. Like that's tough.
Well, I mean, you mentioned it. Like, you're not going to be using Acreus as long as you're holding on to your Mida, right? Like, what do you think will be your go-to shotgun?
A lot of people have been telling me to use. I think it's the Crucible shotgun. I don't have it. I want it. I think I've deleted like 1,000 of them. The Summerlid D. Summerlid D, is that it? People have been saying that one's really good, but I don't have one in my vault, which kind of unfortunate. I've been using Retrofuturist, but a lot of people have been saying that's not a top tier shotty.
If you do get a chance, there's that green one.
I've heard about the green
Fallout
one.
Plays
I've
is
heard
the
all
one
about
that
the green one.
that thing.
I want it.
I used that a lot before people, like it was very common for people to complete their Acreus quest. So certainly the Acreus is just like, it's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
It became the dominant force. But when that was kind of out of the picture, the hand in hand really was amazing. It felt like the old, like a solid shotgun and get good range.
When D2 first came out and a lot of the sweat players were trying to make Destiny 2 like sweaty and make sweats happen, there was quite a bit of people that were using that green shotgun because it was really good. For sure. I need to pick that one up. That'll probably be if it's still a top tier shotty, that'd be awesome to use after the update.
So funny just to like watch sweats with everyone's got their green power.
Everyone's in that first mission of the story, like
So we're getting some subclass tuning too, right? Like Dawnblade coming up, Arcstrider coming up, Sentinel and Striker both getting the boost to movement speed. Do you think that there's going to be one that we'll sort of see a change to what the meta subclass will be, or anything to get you to change off of Stormcaller?
I want to try Dawnblade for sure. I'm probably gonna
with that Icarus cooldown.
I'm not too sure what they're actually changing with it with the patch notes. I read it once and completely forgot. I know I'm gonna try it out because I know they're buffing Dawnblade, and if they're buffing something that I can use, like I only use Warlocks, so if they're buffing something on a Warlock, I'll try it out, see if I like it. But they're not changing anything with Storm, right? I don't think they're changing.
I mean, aside from the jumps,
yeah, aside from the jumps. Oh, wow! In your Storm Super is going to be really fast after the update. That's going to be awesome.
Oh boy!
Can't wait.
Yep.
I love Storm, man. I might end up just sticking to my same exact setup. I've been telling people that. Like, if I can, I'm going to use the same setup I have right now because I have a lot of fun on it. I'm a creature of habit. It's tough for me to switch.
Yeah, well, I am too, and I'm hoping that like my current off meta choices are suddenly going to be like, oh yeah, I knew these were going to get good. That's why I've been practicing.
Oh, that's
them,
a good feeling when
like,
stuff like that happens in Destiny. When you have that, you have this.
It's a bad
this
feeling
gun.
when it doesn't work, and I'm still just losing. But
I feel you.
All right, man. Well, let's zoom out real far. We got this big update coming up, and like, who knows what's going to happen in the Destiny world or in the competitive world after this update. But looking at the roadmap, like coming up in the future, we've got exotic tuning, we've got comp playlist, we've got private
exciting
matches,
stuff. Tons
all
of
this.
exciting stuff. With
I mean,
lots
what
of
do you see
potential.
for the future over the rest of the year?
Oh, I definitely see a sweat scene breaking out. Depending on how good, I don't want to say how good the game is, but how popular the game is, that's going to determine how big the sweat scene is in the game. But I think it's going to be there regardless if there's private matches. Right now, you have to back out in a rematch at the end of every game, and it's such a hassle to play sweats and top players versus top players. It's so much of a hassle. So private matches will fix that issue. I'll be playing a ton. I can guarantee that. and like tournaments and stuff will be so much easier, and they'll actually happen just because private matches. Ranked, we don't really know much about ranked. I would really want more information on ranked. Like, is it we don't know anything. Is there a certain playlist that it's in?
It's only 2 months away.
That's a big thing to learn about. I feel like that's going to be a lot of twabs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is your rank going to count in trials? Like, are there going to be people farming their rank while playing trials? Because that, oh man, that could get really annoying really quick, you know? So we'll see. If ranked ends up being its own playlist, I'm gonna play a lot of that. That'll be a ton of fun. Get all my Sherpa buddies and play together in ranked. That's the dream. If that actually happens, that's a game changer.
I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you guys get super high ranked real fast, so I don't ever have to run into you. No, it's for me. It's just for me. I just don't want to be on the other side of it. All right, man. Well, this has been a blast talking to you.
Yeah, dude.
For sure. You guys need to add me on PlayStation. Let's play.
Oh, I got to plug my PlayStation in.
Are you PC players?
Yeah. That's nice. Still use a controller, though. Controller for life.
Same.
Well, I mean, you're out there doing it. People need to go check you out and learn a thing or two. Where can people find you on the internet?
Twitch.tv/Ryth0m, RYTH0M. Or it's the same thing on Twitter, Twitch. YouTube. I haven't really been posting YouTube, but yeah, I'd say go to the Twitch channel for sure. Check it out. You'll love it. It's a great stream.
I agree.
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you, dude, because this has been true since Destiny 1, Destiny 2, any interview we've ever done. It's really cool to talk to someone who has a play style that stands out, and you with those 2 Midas is so fun to watch.
For the first time ever, I feel like I have my own play style, and I love that I have that. I want to keep that, you know? Yeah, absolutely. So keep doing what you're doing, and we'll have to check in with you after this Fast update and hear your thoughts now that once you get a chance to actually do it. I'm going to be trying very hard to be the fastest warlock in the game. I'm pretty sure I think I can do it, man. I think I can do it. So yeah, check in on me. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yep. I had a great time. It was nice meeting you guys.
Outro, quick and dirty.
Go have fun. Obi snoring.
Yeah, I just heard that. Please let that be the outro.
Yeah, that's my dog snoring. Everyone,
we're done. Go fast, folks. Go play. I don't even care. Don't follow us on anything. Just go play.
Yeah,
I'm hitting
definitely
stop.
Don't follow me.
Let me just listen to this dog snore for a minute. This is the most serene thing.
His tongue's hanging out.
What am
Just
I
like
doing?
A minute of silence at the end of the episode.
I'm sitting here trying to listen to someone else's dog through Discord.
Yep.
Goodbye, folks.
Future. See ya. Go play Destiny.
What's up, everyone? Bones here. Do you like podcasts? Do you like chill conversation? Well, me and my co-hosts Swain and Birds put out a bonus podcast every month on Patreon. If you want to check it out and be a part of more awesome stuff, head over to patreon.com/Crucible Radio and join the squad. See you there.